Mike Falzone.
Hey, Steve, is your refrigerator running? Steve?
Yeah.
Then you better go catch it, you piece of shit. You got.
Friday and Monday, I'll be getting to do more crowd work. I was very nervous about last night.
You like doing that crowd work?
That's my favorite thing in the world.
Because it's just improv, right?
Yeah. It's doing what we do with everybody. You know, I get to talk to people, and then I always like that.
Like you point out someone and you say, like, did you buy that shirt or the person next to you bought it?
Hey, what's with that hat? Did the person next to you buy that hat?
And you're wearing it because they bought you that hat?
Right. That's most of it.
What are you doing? What are you dipping in? That's a thick fry. Do you guys know the fries are that thick? Try the fries. I'm the guy who comes out in the middle of the comics and tells you about the fries. It's Mike. I'm going to tell you about the fries for about 7 minutes.
Oh, dearest Mr. Falzone, as an introvert, I am allergic to small talk. Your previous video, 20 conversation starters, really resonated with me as a way to cut through the standard issue social layers of sports and TV shows. Do you have any other advice on how to steer the conversation to something more interesting and meaningful than discussing for the 13th time that temperature does in fact change over time and may or may not be accompanied by falling water? Sincerely, Dan. Hi, Dan. Sometimes talking sucks, but you have to. They don't tell you that when you start talking. Your mom and dad are just like, say our names, until they kick your ass out the door for school. And then they're like, go use what you've learned. And you're sitting there like, Mom, Dad. Eventually, you're gonna have to talk to people, and you don't get to decide how interesting they are. Sometimes you're not gonna have a good time, and you have to do it anyway. That's such a big part of regular life. No matter how comfortable you are, you might find yourself in a situation where you just don't jive with the other person. Don't vibe with them. Other music festival words. Don't feel bad. It's probably their fault. If I'm talking with somebody who's drunk or boring or just whatever, and I know that I'm gonna be there for a while, just let them talk. You talk. Then it's easy. Then you just sit back and listen to what is hopefully a good story. Like story time when you're a kid, or when you were at daycare and the TV was just on A&E or something like that, and you couldn't change it because you didn't know where the controller was. Sit down and listen. You might learn something. That's a great analogy, and I just wanted to point that out. You never know what you could learn from a stranger. Let them talk about themselves. People love to talk about themselves, and you never know if no one lets that person do it. They might be in heaven right now. Look at what a good time they're having. Last time that happened to me, and I just let that person talk, I got a pen out of it. Where's the pen? Dude gave me this rich person pen just for listening. I was like, dude, I can't take your pen. And he was drunk. And he goes, I want you to have it. And when I asked him why he was giving me his rich person pen, he goes, you're cool, man. I can tell. I didn't do anything. I accidentally made that person feel very special by listening to his stories about how he hates his daughter's boyfriend. And then he introduced us to the bass player of Bad Religion. He was like, here's this. And now I have that as a page in my book in my life. And I have this fucking pen. Don't steer the conversation. Let them take it somewhere, and then you hop on whenever it's going slow enough so you don't get hurt. Perfect extra lesson in there. That's how you talk to drunk people. Or if they're really drunk and they keep talking to you and you don't want them to talk to you, keep asking them to spell things mid-conversation. And it might get you punched good, but it's very funny while it lasts. Enjoy.
You're a flight attendant?
Yes.
All right, let's get into that. What is the shit you don't want passengers to know that flight attendants do?
I'm not gonna reveal all my secrets.
No, not your secret. It could be other people's secret. Just anything funny. I'm out. And this is a crowd work show, so you gotta work too.
Alexa, what happened on this day in 1994?
I found 2 February 7th, 1994 events. Xenia Goodwin is born in Sydney, Australia, and Vito Lutoslavsky dies at 81 years old.
R.I.P.
Why do you leave your book out like that?
Are you a movie guy? Movie buff? You see a lot of movies?
I've seen some movies. Yeah, what's up? What's up? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm trying to ask you, like, what is your favorite movie? How are there any movies that we know about that you've influenced?
Emoji Movie was all mine.
Yep.
The new Star Wars.
Which new Star Wars? I feel like there's only been new. I don't like.
What new?
I think you do a head movement where it's like it's condescending, and I don't like it only because I wish that you could show me some respect because you are on my show. You're on my show, so please be less condescending to me so we could just have a nice chat. Because it's hard. I keep getting distracted because you're being condescending. I feel like you are.
Respectfully, with all due respect.
See, it gets to a point. I feel like you're doing it right now.
The newest Star Wars.
Okay.
Called all together now at home. Even you, Julie, who's also gonna die.
Well, I'd rather you.
The Last Jedi.
Okay. Didn't see it. Didn't have time to see that.
Let's just say I'm not really here right now.
Why didn't you move your?
Because I'm not here. I can throw my voice pretty easily.
Interesting. Phone calling people, prank phone calling people who definitely have my number in their phone. That's the new